Alright, so that was Mangog doing about 432,000 damage in about 24 seconds. And that is the highest we've ever seen Mangog's damage output be. And I just want to analyze this and just show you where the damage is coming from. So we have three separate categories. So we have the base of Mangog, like what's in his kit that doesn't need any synergies or any like mastery setup. And then we have the synergies, like how certain synergies play into the damage output, which by the way, there's one synergy that does most of the work. And then we have the mastery setup, which like what masteries am I running that help Mangog's damage output? Like the obvious one is the recoil masteries. So let's just get right into this. We have three separate categories, and we're going to start off with the base attack first. So what in his base kit gives him like the attack increase that he needs to do this damage? Well, on the first thing that comes to mind is his 3,859 Fury, which is pretty much 100% of his base attack, right? So he gets this whenever he is hit while enraged. So Mangog was made in a way where you're supposed to take a hit because you can take like a lot of damage because you have a lot of armor up and damage resistance while you're enraged. So you want to take the hit, and that gives you a pretty chunky Fury, and that lets you do like pretty good damage. Additionally, if he's awakened, you can get more attack based on the amount of hatred you have. So it's up to 888 for my Sig 100 Mangog. And also you get like a little bit of critical damage too. I believe it's like 43.3 when you're like fully enraged. So now let's talk about the synergies, which play a massive role in this video. So the most important one by far is the Rentra synergy, which provides 10% attack per stagger on the opponent. And Mangog, when he's enraged, inflicts a stagger pretty much every time he hits the opponent while enraged. And it's like a 70% chance, so you get it very, very often. And so you can get upwards of like 20 staggers, which is like 200% attack rating. So like this is a massive, massive benefit. At minimum, you're always going to have like at least upwards of 10 to 12, which is already a pretty big attack increase. So like there's just so much attack coming from this synergy, and is by far the biggest factor in this video. Then we have the Diablo synergy, which provides plus 10% attack rating while you're enraged, which is nothing too big compared to like the Rentra synergy, but it's still pretty helpful overall. And then we have another really big synergy, which is the Black Cat synergy. So it provides plus 45 critical damage rating per hatred. So when you're enraged, you have plus 450 critical damage rating. And it doesn't sound like a lot at first, but when you see that Mangog's base critical damage rating is like 389, then it really starts to like hit you that, wow, this is actually a lot of critical damage. I believe it like provides like a plus 20% bonus critical damage. It's very, very good. Like it is a very strong synergy, but to be honest, in all honesty, he just needs Rentra. He really just wants Rentra, and even with no synergies, he's still like surprisingly good damage wise. But that's for another video. That's for another time. So now let's talk about masteries, and of course I feel like these are the least important just because like there's already so much attack rating coming from Mangog's like base and synergies, so it doesn't really matter. But he was made for the recoil masteries. He reduces recoil damage while enraged, and he is naturally bleed immune, so he's very, very strong with the recoil masteries, and he's really like comfortable with them, right? So I always have him with me, but of course I'm gonna make a video showcasing him without the recoil masteries because I know not everyone has access to them, so that will be coming soon. So I need to do a no synergy Mangog and a no recoil masteries Mangog just so we can see like how well he performs overall. But honestly, I think he's gonna be pretty nice, especially in like battlegrounds where the health pool is pretty low. But yeah, so that's the masteries that like increase attack rating. Of course there's also glass cannon, so I added another 7.2%. And yeah, now let's get the total of all like the attack increases. Now I don't know how the game calculations work, but this is like the totals that we have here. So for percent attack increases, we have a total of 232% attack increase, which is pretty massive when you look at Mangog's base attack being so high. It is one of the highest in the game if I remember correctly. So yeah, that is just absolutely massive. And then we have plus 4,747 base attack increase, which is also very, very good. That is like 118 or 120% of his base attack, so that's very solid. And then we have plus 483.3 critical damage rating, which is very good given that his base critical damage rating is extremely low. It's like 380 something. So all of these just come together to make some pretty awesome damage output by Mangog. And of course, when you take out some, it's going to be less overall. But even if you take out like the masteries and the base attacks, well, you can't take out the base, but even if you take out like the masteries, he's still gonna hit very hard. Even if you take out like every synergy but the intro one, he's still gonna hit very hard. And even in like a scenario where there's no synergies or no recall masteries, in like a battlegrounds matchup, he should still do just fine because that is the perfect helpful for his like base rotation. So yeah, there's just a lot going on with Mangog, and I just want to like make this video just to like show you what exactly is going on with this character, what's causing him to hit so hard, and why I think he's just like a very strong damage dealer in this game. But yeah, that's gonna be it for me. Let me know your thoughts on Mangog. Only positive thoughts, of course, because I like this character, and if I see any bad talk about Mangog, I'll be very upset. So let's just not do that. And yeah, let me know your thoughts on Mangog, and that's about it for me.